There's something going on in America. Mechanics are quitting by the masses. Now, most of these mechanics share the same reason across the board. That reason is overworked and underpaid. And I get it. Who wants to go to work, bust their ass all day, and then at the end of the day feel shortchanged? They put in hard work, long hours, just to deal with these cars, these new cars, that you have to move 100 different parts out the way just to get to the one part that you're working on. That can be a pain in the ass, so I get it. Check out these videos and let them tell you why mechanics are quitting by the thousands.
I just put my 2 weeks notice in. I've been a Ford transmission tech for 12 years now. I've been a senior master tech since 2018. This industry has changed a lot in the last 10 years. If you're a dealership mechanic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I will always have the utmost respect for my fellow mechanics in this industry, and I will definitely miss the fun we have here in the shop. I'm very thankful that my dealership is letting me work these last 2 weeks so I can get everything in order for what I'm getting ready to do. But with that being said, I'm ready for a change. I am going all in on my real estate business and my side hustles. Real estate has opened up so many doors for me, and I'm ready to take it to the next level. So, a lot of people are asking me, are you scared? Are you nervous? And the truth is, I am absolutely terrified. A good friend told me, he's like, man, if you're not terrified, then you're probably not the right decision. So to all of my friends, family, people who've supported me, people following me on here, I love you guys. I hope you'll still follow me, and we'll see where the journey takes me. Peace out.
All right, guys, loading up on my stuff. There's a lot of things that I'm really upset about with the Jaguar dealership that I'm at. Turns out the exotic cars were not as profitable as I thought they would be, and that's okay. It's fine. So I'm going to go back to one of the brands that I know that I can make money at, and I got a really good offer. I'm going to go ahead and just pursue that because I've decided that this year is going to be about money. I'm not going to settle for anything less. And if I get anything less, then I'm leaving. So this is what we're doing. I will post a Toolbox Friday pick tomorrow, or a video, we'll see. And maybe go into depth a little bit more about the circumstances. But until then, I'll talk to you later.
Here is why I quit diesel mechanic. And everybody needs to understand, every blue collar man, we have to respect them. They put in a lot of work. Like, actually being on the job, seeing the kind of work that we put in, it's something, man. So I definitely respect all the blue collar workers for sure. But the reason why I quit is because I started to see where I wanted to go and where my life was starting to go. Meaning, I looked at guys who were older in the field, and I picture myself being in their shoes. And you would see a lot of older guys that are in the field. They're limping. They're just not healthy. They hate their job. They don't like it, but they deal with it because that's all that they know. So I said, you know what? I have to take a risk, and I have to try something else.
Are we doomed? Will the cost of auto repair skyrocket because of the shortage of mechanics? As less mechanics take on more workload, the prices had no other place to go but up.
Car mechanics just get shafted, period. They're all the trades combined, but they get the least amount of money. When they diagnose your car, it can be electrical work, like electrician. It can be plumbing, right? Some kind of routing in the intake system. It's all the trades combined, but they make the least amount of money. This is why 10 years ago, I decided, you know what? I gave it up and I started doing digital marketing. I put the same amount of effort, what I would do in my job, into this thing, and I made way more money. Right now, I'm mortgage free. I have no car payments. I'm living well. Plus, I don't have to put my body in weird positions because engineers decide to make weird parts. And I feel like they're trying to mess with us. So if you're sick and tired of this car mechanic stuff, you're being underappreciated, you're working super hard, but you want something different, check the link in my profile. Get started today. If you put the same amount of effort, even if you're doing 1 to 2 hours a day, if you put that kind of effort into this, you can make a lot more money.
I sit here and think about all the years that I've spent learning this trade, working on cars, schooling myself, doing everything necessary to make myself more efficient, to make myself a better employee.
all the improvements in the world that we're expected to do, sometimes required to do just to have the job. But the industry just gets worse. And you know, the guy that I work for is a good dude. Very good dude. Got a good head on his shoulders, has the right mindset, puts money in the right place when it comes to the business. Anything we needed, he got. That doesn't fix the industry. The industry is shit. It's been shit, and it's been getting worse by the year. I've been doing this since I was 18 professionally, and probably been working on cars since I was old enough to get cussed at for grabbing the wrong wrench. I called out yesterday because I tweaked my back, and I just didn't feel up to going into work and doing a lot of pulling and pushing. I came in this morning, he expected me to have a doctor's note. I'm sorry. It costs too goddamn much, even with insurance, to go to the doctor to get looked at for something as minor as a back spasm. Last time I went to the doctor was for a Band-Aid and some Neosporin, and it cost me $740. I'm not going to the doctor for a tweaked back. I mean, I'm an auto mechanic. I'm pretty sure it comes factory. I don't regret going back into this because I am very good at what I do, and I can say that with my whole chest because I can fix anything. Houses, cars, whatever. But cars especially, I know cars very, very well. Will I ever be in the automotive industry ever again? No. Absolutely not. This will be the last time these tools ever see the bed of a truck until I move from one house to another. That being said, something needs to happen to fix the industry. Mechanics are very underappreciated. We are very underpaid for the amount of financial burden that we have to carry. Tool bills, education, boots, all this shit, man. It costs so much to work on cars. And all we hear is how much people have to spend to fix their car. When simple fact is most people live outside of their fucking means. They got caviar taste with Vienna sausage pockets. They buy cars they can't fucking maintain because they didn't do enough research to see how much it costs to maintain them. And that's just the truth of the matter. They get in deep on a car payment, and then they can't afford to take care of it, and then it turns into a piece of shit that they're still making payments on. So they're pissed. You know, but they should be pissed at themselves.
I done had to take a 20-minute break, bro. Look at this shit. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, bro. I gotta replace a fuel pump. I only quoted 5 hours. I gotta take out the seat. I gotta rewire all the
On my other page, I recently told y'all how I used to be a mechanic before I was a mattress actress, and a lot of you were asking why I quit. So I thought I'd get into that over here. I started working in the shop when I was like 15 because I was homeschooled to race motocross, and I worked in the shop up until I was about 21. I worked for a big operators union for a long time, and then I moved to like dealerships, mom and pop shops when I moved down south. So I've worked at a handful of shops, and I kept running on the same thing. Even from like a really young adult, like 16, 17, I was being treated very inappropriately by other people working in the shop. So I was getting fed up. I'd move shops. It'd happen again. I'd move shops. So eventually I was like, I'm done. As sad as it is to say, I'm sure a lot of women that work blue collar have experienced this. And it's not everybody, of course, but it was continuing to happen just about almost every shop I went to, as awful as that is. So, I left and didn't know what I was going to do, and I was scared, and now life is good. And that's why I switched to being a spicy accountant.
I just quit my job today. I'm 32 years old. I've been working since I was 16, half of my life. I've been working for somebody else, and it's time to start working for myself. I'm going to be my own boss. I don't have a perfectly laid out specific plan on what exactly I'm going to be doing. I was a mechanic for the last 15 years and, 14 and a half years. And I just got super, super burnt out. I just was getting heavy, high anxiety every single day. If a car came in and it needed any kind of diag, I just was extremely burnt out and I didn't want to do it. So getting deep into it, diving into it just gave me high anxiety. I was worried I was going to have health problems. So, I already have like some achy back problems and wrist and hand issues, not major, but they're there. And I was worried I was going to start having some major mental health issues and possibly like lead into stuff like heart problems because of what I was going through, every single day. And I didn't want to get up to go to work. I snooze my alarms as many times as possible, and I'd show up late anyways. And I didn't hate the job. I didn't hate the people or the place. It was just, I was tired of the job itself. And I don't have any hard feelings towards anyone I worked with or the place I left from, places that I've left from. I liked them. I liked the places. I just didn't like the job anymore. I just couldn't do it.
So, I needed to take a break from cleaning out my toolbox, so I guess I'll give you guys the whole story. Before we go any further, Brandon, Charles, Chadley, I'm sorry. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to quit, but I quit. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but Toyota wanted to cut me down to $14 an hour, and that was still at flat rate. And going into the slow season up here in Michigan, that was not going to work for me. Yeah, it sucks. And I had COVID right at the start of working for Toyota. And that gave me a lot of time to think. And it also showed me, like, who really cares? We'll call it nobody from the dealership did. Granted, I was new and everything like that, but nobody cared. And they definitely showed it when my paycheck came. There was no compensation, there was no nothing. And I'm not saying they had to, but it certainly would have said a lot about who they are if they had done something like that. There's also recently been a bunch of videos about, why nobody wants to be a mechanic anymore. I've got well over $10,000 invested in tools. And I love this job. I love working on cars. That hasn't changed, guys. There's a lot of reasons why this industry isn't great. We could get into warranty, we could get into flat rate, we could get into just the general hours that we're expected to work. It all just adds up. And I have responsibilities. This guy right here, they are my whole world. They weren't cheap either. Bringing those guys back from China set me back a lot. On top of the tools that I had to buy to reinvest in this industry. Now, I don't regret that because I learned where I'm supposed to go. But when you've been working and trying the same shit over and over and struggling to try and find a place that wants to actually treat you well when you come in and bust ass every day, it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't. Thank you guys for listening to my long ass story. I'm sure I rambled a little bit there, but I'm going to still keep posting. It'll still be somewhat automotive related. There's just going to be some more random interesting stuff, and you'll probably see more of my personality. So,
you know what? It seems as if every trade, every profession, every career are going through the same thing. Overworked, underpaid. Mechanics aren't the only ones quitting. There are people silently quitting all types of careers and jobs. The American people are feeling shortchanged. What has happened in America over the past 10 to 15 years? The wages haven't been going up. People are becoming more frustrated. The cost of living is skyrocketing. And I know this may sound repetitive, but it is what it is. This has to be spoken about. What type of change can be made? Well, some would say it starts at the voting booth, but people have been doing that for years. I can't blame it on one president. I think it's a collage of many different policies and many different presidents leading up to where we are today. Let me know in the comments section if you have been thinking of quitting your job. What career is it? What have you been noticing? What are your experiences at your job? Any mechanics that see this video, please share your story. Let us know in the comments section. If you have made it this far, please like and comment. I would greatly appreciate it. Till next time. Peace.